Hello everyone. Today in this video we're going to look at how to do relative grading when we have the marks, total number of marks attained by a large number of students. So for this to do relative grading in this case, what we do is that we make use of the if formula or if else formula in the Excel. And for the relative grading, we also make use of the mean and the standard deviation of the data. Let's suppose we have this data, and for this data we have to do relative grading. These are the roll numbers and these are the marks, total marks received by each of these students. So for this, what we will do is that we will actually first calculate the average. We will first calculate the average or mean of the grades of all the students. So simply what we have to do is we have to write equal to average, and then we have to select all of this data. Simply we will select all of this data, and we have to close the brackets here and then click enter. So this is the average of the marks that all of the students have received. Now we have to calculate the standard deviation. So to calculate the standard deviation, what we will do is we will use the formula equal to STD, which means DEV, standard deviation, and we have to select all of this data, and we will close the brackets here. We have closed the brackets here and then press enter, and this is the standard deviation of the data. Now what to do with this is that we have to actually copy this mean and standard deviation here. We will simply copy this mean and standard deviation. Let's suppose we will copy it here. One minute. We will simply paste the values here. So what we have got is we have got the mean and the standard deviation here. Now how to calculate the grades? Let's suppose we have the grades a plus, a, b plus, and let's suppose b, and now f. Only for simple, for to make this video simple, we will only use 5 grades here. And now how to calculate these grades? For a plus, what you have to simply do is you will do mean plus the standard deviation, mean plus the standard deviation, which will be equal to sum of, which will be equal to the sum of average or mean and the standard deviation. So if you want to make this simple, what we have done is we have done mean plus 1 times 1 into standard deviation. This is the formula for calculating the a plus. Now how to calculate the a? We have to simply do mean plus 0.5 times. Each time we have to decrease by 0.5. 0.5 times standard deviation, and this we will do equal to sum of this value comma, and now how to calculate this is 0.5, 0.5, 0.5 times the standard deviation here, and then close the bracket and then try this. So 85.4, it comes equal to the 0.5 times standard deviation. Now again what we have to do is, for b plus we will do simply mean plus 0 times standard deviation, which means simply the mean. So b plus will be simply the mean. Now what will be b? B will be, control C, minus 0.5 times standard deviation. So how to calculate this? We will use equal to sum of the average here, and according to the formula another bracket we will use, minus 0.5 multiplied by the standard deviation, and close both of these brackets and press enter. So 67.5, this is equivalent to the value for the grade. Greater than this marks will be the grade B, greater than 76.4 will be the grade B plus, and so on. So what will be F? So simply the F grade will be mean, the F grade will be simply less than 67.505. Now here what I am doing is, I am actually taking, for making this video simple, I am only taking these four grades, A plus A, B plus B, and then F. So when we take many grades, we will look into the matter as the failure will be less than the last grade. So, and in some of the universities or colleges you can have a parameter that for the failure you can only have the at least the student, to avoid being failed or to pass the course, the student must have greater than 40 marks. So this parameter also needs to be taken into consideration. Like for example, if you are having many grades, A plus A and A plus and A, B plus and B, C plus and C, but the F grade comes very low, for example it comes 30, but some colleges may have parameter that it should be greater than 40. So you have to arrange the other grades like that time. But here for relative grading we have to use this formula. First, for A plus, mean plus standard deviation, or 1 times standard deviation. Then decrease each time by 0.5. So A will be mean plus 0.5 times standard deviation, B plus will be mean plus 0 times the standard deviation, and B will be mean plus minus 0.5. So we're decreasing by 0.5 each times, minus 0.5 into standard deviation, and so on. So the failure, what here it will be, it will be less than 67.5. So all the values that are less than 67.5. Now what we have to do here is, we have to use the if else formula in Excel. We have written the grade column here, or we have made the grade column here. Now what we have to do, we have to simply use the if else formula. First you select this column, and to actually reduce the number of values after the decimal, we have to simply click this. We click this, and we click this, select this, and keep on clicking this. It will decrease the number of values after decimal, and this will be okay for us to use in the if else formula. So we have to use the if else formula for the grades. For the grades we will use the if else formula. So here it will be visible, if, and then what we will do, we will first select what value, what for which we are using if, for what value we are using if. We are using the if for this marks. So if b2, or where the marks are present, b2 is greater than or equal to, if it is greater than or equal to 94.5, because a plus is means greater than or equal to 94.5, then it will be, the result will be A plus. Now after this we have to again use if. We will again use if, comma if, and in if what value we are selecting, this value. If this value is greater than or equal to 85.5. So what will be the value? It will be A, and we have to again use comma. Now we will again use if, because we have to again test the condition. If this value is greater than or equal to 76.5. So this is simple. And what will be the value? It will be B plus. Now again we have to use the if condition. We will again use the if condition after the comma. And what we have to do, if this value it is greater than or equal to 67.5. So what will be the grade? The grade will be simply B. So to make this if condition simpler, I have used only these four grades. Now after this again we have to use if. Now in the if, as you can understand what we can use, we have to check for this value. If this value is less than f, is if this value is less than 67.5. If it is less than 67.5, then what will be the grade? The grade will be F, or the student is failing. And now we are done with it. But in the if else block, what we do is that first it will check this condition. If b2 or if this value which is at b2 in the excel, it is at b2 is greater than equal to 94.5, so it is A plus. Then another if it is checking if it is greater than 85.5, then it is A. Another if it is greater than 76.5, it is B plus. Then another if it is greater than 67.5, then it is B. And then another if it is less than 67.5, then the student is failing. But we have to take care of another condition. If some value is there which is not matching any of these value, so we have to fill any value for it. For example, if some of the value is present in these marks which is not satisfying any of this if condition, so we will go to the else condition. Else condition, we have to place some value so that we can identify that. For example, not able to, not able to, not able, simply we will write not able to give grade. So as we can understand that there is no grade for this value. So after this we will close this. So first bracket or parenthesis is closing, then another one is closing, the second one, then after this, so first this parenthesis closes, then the third parenthesis closes, then the fourth, and then the last one, which is the fifth parenthesis. Now to make you understand this, let's suppose if this is less than 60. So there will be some values from 60 to 67, for example. Those values will have no grade allotted to this. I have done this for this reason, to make you understand that if there are some values where no grades are allotted, so what do I have to place here? I have placed here not able to give grade. So there are values, 7 values: 60, 61, 62, 63, 64, 65, 66, and 67, and in between decimal numbers also. For those there is no grade in the formula, so it will place this value for them. Let's press enter. So we have got B plus here. 85 means B plus. See here, 85, if it is great, if the value is greater than 76.5 and less than 85.5, then it is 85 here. It must have B plus grade. Now you will click here and you have to move the mouse here. When it comes plus, you will double left click it. You will double left click and it will give all the grades. Let's see here. Here the student is having 61.5 marks, and according to the grading, 61.5 marks is not in the formula. So it will go to the else condition, and else condition is not able to grade, and therefore the value here is not the value for this row is not able to give grade. This is the else condition. And let's check another value. 53 means F. Here if any value was less than 60, we gave it the failure. So here this 53, the student having 53, it is F. check this 87 equal to A. So greater than 85.5, less than 94.5, it is A grade. So this is how we give relative grading. Now another thing we will check, we will click on these grades. We have simply clicked on these grades, and we will insert, use the insert here, and we will use the insert here, and we will click the pivot table. Click the pivot table here, and then press OK. Now it is showing grade here. Include the grade here. First you will include, click this, this will include the grade in the pivot table, and then we have to left click this and drag this to values. So it will give us the count of grades. A grade is for 23 students, B grade is for 5, B plus for 7, F for 7, and not able to give grade 9, and A plus is for no one. So here what we have to do is, now simply we will actually copy this and we will paste it here. We have simply pasted it here, and now we will again use insert. Insert, what we have to insert, we will insert a chart so that we can make a chart of the marks distribution. Let's suppose we insert a 3D line. So this, it is giving this chart here, it is giving the mass marks distribution. A grade for 20 above people, now again it is decreasing. B grade for 5 people, B plus grade for 7 people, and again F grade for how many people, 7 people, and not able to grade for 9 people. So this we can also show the distribution of the grades. Thank you for your time.